does. Andrew, your thoughts on Charlize Theron? She doesn't need a man. She likes banging 26-year-olds when she feels like it. You don't need fathers in life. You just need a strong, badass woman.
Well, you know, it's really funny. The reason nobody cares really very much when a 40-year-old attractive woman has sex with some random young man is because it's not impressive. It's impressive when men can bang young women because most men can't bang young women, but most older women can bang young men. So it's just not an impressive accomplishment. Of course, these are the same women who will screech because...
I think it's important for kids to have different figures in their life who they can look up to. And
like strange men, like strange random men. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Look up to those guys that are just screwing your mom.
And, you know,
Andrew Wilson causes a crazy-eyed feminist named Taylor Lorenz to have a complete and utter meltdown live on Piers Morgan Uncensored because she can't answer basic questions, like basic truths she refuses to acknowledge, and it's pretty embarrassing, and I'm happy to, and excited actually, to share it with you guys. So let's get right into this. This happened on Piers Morgan Uncensored. Again, Andrew Wilson causing this crazy-eyed feminist to just completely lose her shit live. Let's get into it.
Well, you know, it's really funny. The reason nobody cares really very much when a 40-year-old attractive woman has sex with some random young man is because it's not impressive. It's impressive when men can bang young women because most men can't bang young women, but most older women can bang young men. So it's just not an impressive accomplishment. Of course, these are the same women who will screech because, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio decides that he wants to change up you know, at 25 years old, any of the broads he has hanging around. But this is not an impressive accomplishment. All a woman needs to do to get laid is go somewhere where there's men and offer it up. It's not the case for men. So it's an unimpressive accomplishment on its face. As to the rest of what she's saying, this is just normal tripe, right? Her kids are the ones who are going to get punished. They're always the ones who get punished. We can look at the data for outcomes on children who are raised in single mother homes. It's not good. It's not good for their mental health. It's not. And by the way, the rates of abuse from having strange men around skyrocket. Terrible idea. And it's exactly the wrong kind of propaganda to be pushing.
All right.
Just so you guys know, they are reacting to this celebrity, this woman. I don't even know her name. I'll insert a clip, but she went on Call Her Daddy, you know, the biggest female podcast, aka a hoe podcast. And she just bragged about how she's a single, strong, independent woman who sleeps with younger men. And oh my gosh, she's just the cougar out on the town. That's who she is, and she's damn proud of it. And yes, Andrew Wilson, as always, exactly correct. We know that the consequences of kids, especially boys, being raised in a single mother household is awful. They are way more likely to engage in violent crime, way more likely to be incarcerated. They're more likely to be in poverty. The possibilities are endless. Like, it's actually worse for young boys because young boys get violent and they can just, you know, end up in prison. Whereas young girls, you know, they don't have a daddy. Yes, they have daddy issues. They're the classic, you know, daddy issued girl, right? She's kind of a hoe. She sleeps around, but she still can do well in school. But the outcomes for little boys, awful. So that's what they're reacting to. And I just love, actually, no, I hate to see Taylor Lorenz, this bitch over here, smiling and like giggling as if she knows anything. That she's like laughing at Andrew Wilson, like, oh my gosh, this guy thinks he knows what's real and what's going on. Like, bitch, do you ever use a mirror? Do you ever use a mirror? Honestly, like, do you not see your, like, let me just let her speak for herself before I keep rambling on, okay?
Taylor Lorenz, isn't it just a factual reality of life that women are predominantly happier with a man by their side and children are predominantly better off in life with a present father?
Like, bitch, stop smiling and laughing like that. Stop.
I think, listen, children
okay, thank you.
are better off in life when they have a loving household, and not all of those households have fathers. I mean,
what a loving household it would be to be raised by a single mom who is a literal cougar whore. Wow, that's so loving. Wow, and she, not only is she a cougar whore, but she brags about it on the biggest female podcast. So all of the kids' friends can see, and they can also make fun of her kids. Like, do you not realize that this is how bullying happens? Okay, I'm not saying you should bully the kids, but it's an inevitable consequence when any kids' mothers are known to be whores in the public eye, okay? That's just how it is.
There are lesbian parents. There are, different types of arrangements. I think it's important for kids to have different figures in their life who they can look up to. And
like strange men, like strange random men. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Look up to those guys that are just screwing your mom.
And, I think it's really important to expose kids to all different types of figures, but that doesn't have to be, that doesn't have to be like a man, a cisgender man that's.
And there we have it, a cisgender man. If anyone ever uses the term cisgender, they're immediately, like, every single opinion there on out is immediately discarded. Like, no one can trust you now. You are an idiot. Hardcore or retard.
Standing around all the time. There's plenty of terrible fathers out there too. So I think it's great that the child is growing up in a loving household, and hopefully, she'll expose the child to lots of different types.
Yeah, but can you acknowledge that we have now been studying this phenomenon of single motherhood for years and years and years, and that the outcomes for children of single mothers tend to be terrible in comparison to the outcomes of children without them? Can you just acknowledge that that is true?
So I think what you're talking about are studies.
I'm asking a question. Don't run from the question. Yes.
Let me quote my husband. Okay. Yes or no? It's like, yes or no, bitch. Okay. Yes or no. Will you acknowledge that? Of course not. Of course not. Look at this. The crazy eyes. The crazy eyes never lie, guys. They never lie, by the way, for the algorithm. Comment crazy eyes. Crazy eyes never lie. Whatever. Help boost the video in the algorithm. While you're at it, like and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. I know I've taken a hiatus from filming. I am now going to be posting consistently. I promise. We had a little tough few months within the family, but things are good now, and I really want to focus on making video content. Not just for you guys, because I kind of hate when people say that. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm filming for you guys. It's like, no. I enjoy filming, I enjoy making content, and I want to keep doing it. So I hope you guys can enjoy it and stay along with the ride. I can't talk. First video back in a while. Can't even talk. What's new? But yeah, please join. Please subscribe, like, comment, do it all. And yeah, let's get back to it.
Yes or no?
Thanks for your patience. If you were patient, I'm presuming that you were for my own sanity.
Can you? I want you to acknowledge with a yes or no, then a qualifier. Yes or no? Isn't it true that outcomes for children, when they're raised by single mothers, tend to be worse than those with a mother and a father in the house?
What are you talking about?
Then give me your answer.
Stop.
So I'd love to respond if you stop talking over me.
Go ahead.
Anyway, most single mothers are not Charlize Theron with millions and millions and millions of dollars. So when you look at studies like that, a lot of it has to do with the economic opportunities that a lot of single mothers have. Women make less than men as a whole.
Oh, yeah.
They're subject to more sexism and discrimination.
Are we still on the gender pay gap lie? Really, bitch? Really, you're a so-called journalist. Yeah, these are our journalists of America. Congrats. Oh, wow, what a round of applause for this freaking moronic ass bitch.
And so it can often be more challenging for them to raise a child alone.
So the answer is yes?
No, the answer is Charlize Theron.
That sounds like you just said
she
that
doesn't
the answer
even know.
is yes. The answer, according to you just now, is yes.
No, any single
and then you just
parent,
make excuses for it. You're like, yes,
Taylor, this is
because
not.
women are
right
oppressed.
now. This is so weird. You're like shouting
Taylor,
at me.
can I jump in here,
do
Piers?
you know what?
Yeah, okay. Let's bring. Hang on. Time out.
This woman in the middle, one of the best women I've seen online in a while. In a long time. She knows what she's talking about. I haven't seen a lot from her. I used to see her on Fox News, actually, back in the day when I used to watch Fox News. That was a long time ago. Haven't watched it ever since the 2020 election night when they were clearly in cahoots with the left-wing mainstream media, whatever. Anyways, I digress. What's new? It's been a few months, but I'm still doing the same crap. Will I ever learn? I don't know. Anyways, I ramble. Every time I see a clip of hers, I don't know how to pronounce her name. It's an interesting name. I'm sure she won't get offended that I said that. I'm sure she's gotten that a lot her whole life. But every time I see her, I'm really impressed. So I am excited to see what she has to say.
Time out. Let's bring in Jedediah.
Taylor, this is not right.
Jedediah. Okay. It's like Jedediah. It's like, yeah, you're a Jedi in Star Wars and you die. I just watched Star Wars for the first time, my husband and I, so that's why it's on my mind.
Science. First of all, you lost me at cis male. You just need a guy, just a man, right? We don't need all these terms, these nonsensical, ridiculous terms that modern leftists have come up with. It's just a man. Children do better when there is a mom and there is a dad. And the reason is that men and women are completely different. They bring very different things to the table. And children need the role model of a mom and a dad, not just people around. Sure, you can have aunts, you can have uncles, you can have friends, but we're talking about the two individuals that are raising children. And let me just...
Is her rebuttal, is this bitch Taylor Lorenz's rebuttal, what about the lesbians? Like, you're literally further proving our point, right? Does she not realize that? Gosh.
Friends, but we're talking about the two individuals that are raising children. And let me just ask you this question. Wait, I'm not done yet. You complained that Andrew interrupted you, and now you just interrupted me. I'm not done yet. Charlize, you're right. She is rich. She has a ton of money. But what example do you think she's sending to young women everywhere that this is somehow empowering, that you should strive? By the way, you should strive to be the single mom because you don't have to deal with a guy. You don't have to answer to a man. Oh, isn't that so wonderful? And guess who'll pay the price? My kid, she even says, my kids can tell their story. How unbelievably selfish of her to say,
so
my
true.
children will one day to get to tell a story that they had no father because I decided that I just wanted to do this myself, me, myself, and my money. Is that the message?
I wanted to go hump 26-year-olds.
They're lesbian. They shouldn't be able to raise children. You need a man.
Yeah, you do.
We're not talking about Taylor. No one said what should be
single
allowed. I'm not talking about.
Well, tell you what I find strange. What I find strange is I know Charlize a bit when she was dating Sean Penn, and thought she was very nice, but she was always very elegant. If you interviewed her, her whole thing was high-end, elegant, you know, all the highest-end advertising and so on. And then you see her there in this podcast, and she's like effing and blinding, talking about banging 26-year-olds. Very, very different, Ernest, to the Charlize Theron I thought I knew. I'm not saying it's good, bad, or whatever, but I do wonder if it was a male movie star sitting on a sofa, brazenly boasting about banging 26-year-olds. How old is Charlize? 50. If a 50-year-old male star was boasting about banging 26-year-old girls, right, and he was boasting about not needing a woman in his life, not needing a mother, all these kind of things, but in reverse, I don't think you'd be approving of this, Ernest.
Well, duh. Thank you, Piers Morgan, for stating the clear, obvious take here. Obviously, if it was a man, if it was a man saying these things, then of course everyone would freak out. Feminists would be so offended. Oh my gosh, as Andrew Wilson said in the beginning of the clip, you know, these are the same women advocating for this mentality are the same women that get mad at Leonardo DiCaprio for going after young women, okay? The double standard is more obvious than Taylor Lorenz's crazy eyes. And to conclude, yes, we as women, we need men, and children need to be raised with a man in the household, preferably their father, and it shouldn't just be one night stands, their mom, or like the mom is just getting screwed. It's bad. And the fact that Taylor Lorenz can't just say, you know what, I'm not going to tell her that she shouldn't do it, but is it an ideal environment for kids to be raised in? Probably not. She can't even have enough humility to admit that. So yeah, crazy-eyed Taylor Lorenz, but what else did we expect? But if you made it to the end of the video, make sure you comment an orange heart. I really do appreciate it. It helps boost the video in the algorithm. And thanks for your patience. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read all the comments. I respond to a lot of them. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.